Ciao, quante lezioni di tennis ci vogliono per iniziare a palleggiare? Questa domanda me l'ha posta un genitore, un papà di un bambino che voleva iniziare a giocare a tennis. Io gli ho risposto, da subito, sin dalla prima lezione, sin dai primi colpi si impara a palleggiare. Lui mi ha guardato un po' dubbioso e giustamente ha detto che il tennis è uno sport che richiede molta tecnica, che bisogna saper impugnare bene la racchetta, bisogna sapersi posizionare bene in campo per tirare bene la palla dall'altra parte. Osservazioni più che corrette, però il tennis è anche uno sport dove si colpisce una pallina con la racchetta e si deve tirarla oltre la rete e bisogna cercare di farlo tante volte. Quindi quando abbiamo di fronte dei giocatori principianti, bambini o anche adulti, dovremmo partire da questo concetto, quindi dalla base del gioco, che alla fine è un gioco semplice, tirare la palla oltre la rete. E se il gioco lo rendiamo semplice, allora sarà più facile impegnarsi per migliorare e quindi giocare a lungo nel tempo. Se invece iniziamo da subito a parlare di impugnature eastern, semi-western, di mettere i piedi a 90 gradi, a 45 gradi rispetto alla rete, allora il gioco diventa un pochettino più complesso, difficile e qualcuno si può scoraggiare e quindi dopo qualche lezione abbandonare il tennis. Ma di questo aspetto ne abbiamo parlato con Mark Tennant, coach internazionale, relatore in vari simposi, nonché uno dei direttori di Inspire to Coach, una società inglese che fa formazione per insegnanti di tennis. E abbiamo parlato appunto di questo aspetto qui, quindi di come poter palleggiare sin dalla prima lezione. Se non conoscete Mark, ascoltiamo le sue parole.
Hi, my name is Mark Tennant, and I'm one of the two directors and owners of Inspire to Coach. Inspire to Coach is a British company. We're based in the UK, and we run tennis facilities in the UK. We have more than 30 tennis facilities that we run, and we also run coaches education in the UK and all around the world. We do seminars, we do workshops, we do individual coach support, and we do a lot of online resources and content to help coaches just like you to learn more about tennis and coaching and to get some ideas and support to help you to develop your programs and your knowledge and your skills as a tennis coach. And today I want to talk to you about something called the TenStep Rally. I want to answer some questions about it, but first I just want to give you a short introduction and background to the TenStep Rally so you understand a little bit more about the thinking and the philosophy behind it. A few years ago I was working at the ITF in London and I was involved in a project called the Tennis Play and Stay campaign. And the job was to try to bring a new way for coaches and for tennis federations around the world to introduce tennis in an easy, fun and simple way to beginners. And I was writing a manual and I wanted to develop a simple step-by-step approach which coaches could use to help their beginner players to develop rally skills. And so I put together the 10-step rally. And the 10-step rally is a very simple, progressive approach which helps any player, children and adults, to develop the sensation of the rally very quickly in the first lesson. So why is this so important? Well, when you and I watch tennis, we see two players hitting the ball back and forwards over the net and into the court. That's also the game that the beginners see, and it's the game that they want to play. And I don't think it's acceptable that we, as tennis coaches, are telling our players that tennis is a complex game that requires a lot of skills and they're going to have to wait a long time before they can play a good level of tennis. I don't think that's what beginners want to hear. Beginners want to be able to play immediately. They want to be able to play straight away. And of course, we know that there is a lot of technical and tactical and physical and mental skills and a lot of different things that players have to learn, of course. But the most important thing is that we give them the sensation of playing a rally right from the beginning. So what does it mean? If you and I play tennis, we hit the ball, we move, we recover, we have to position, we have to think about where we hit the ball into the court, and then we prepare for the ball is coming back. And we repeat that process until the point is finished. That's what tennis is. And of course, it starts with the serve too. And we can do the same thing for beginner players as well. But it has to be done in a very simple way where we can break down the skills a little bit because, of course, they are beginners. So, of course, it means using a slower ball, but it also means using a smaller court as well, where there is much more potential to keep control of the ball and to keep control of the racket and to be able to develop the skills that are needed for a rally. So the 10-step rally starts with a self-rally, where the players can just hit the ball vertically up and down into a small court, like a 1 meter square, something like that, on their own, and develop the sensation of hitting one ball and then another and then another. It could be only on the forehand, it could be only on the backhand, or it could be a mixture of forehands and backhands, your choice. And then progressively we move to slightly bigger courts and we start to include playing tennis with a partner, which is what tennis is all about. And so the 10-step rally progressions are a very simple and progressive way to introduce the sensation of a rally to beginner players from the first lesson. And that's very important, from the first lesson. So now I want to answer some questions which I've been given to give you a little bit more understanding of the 10-step rally.
Arrivati a questo punto, gli abbiamo chiesto se è possibile insegnare il palleggio sin dalla prima lezione anche con i bambini piccoli, quindi del livello red oppure orange, e quante sono gli step, i passaggi per poter fare una buona progressione per imparare a palleggiare sin da subito. Ascoltiamo la sua risposta che è molto interessante.
Question number 1. Can we teach children to rally from the first lesson? Well, the first answer is yes, 100%, but it's a little bit more than that. I prefer that we don't just talk about children, but we talk about beginners, because for sure most of our coaching and a lot of the skills that we need to develop will be with kids, but we also have to remember that adults can be beginners too. A beginner could be 5 years old, a beginner could be 55 years old. So I believe that the 10-step rally progressions are equally good for adults as for children. And of course, you can modify them a little bit. There will be some steps of the rallies that maybe the adults are not quite so keen on because it's not like traditional tennis for them. But we have to be smart in the way that we introduce these progressive steps. And I believe that children and adults, when they start to develop the sensation of the rally, moving a little bit, guiding the ball with the forehand and the backhand, they can start to feel that actually tennis is something which is possible for them. So I think it's very important that we focus the 10-step rally on beginners and not just specifically on children. It can be very useful for adults too. Question number 2, how many steps? Well, they are called the 10-step rally, so I guess the obvious answer is that there are 10. However, I don't think it's quite as simple as that. I think coaches are creative and innovative people, and of course, not everybody will need 10 steps. So does every player have to start with step 1 with the self-rally? No, not necessarily. Maybe they can already achieve the self-rally and you want to start on step 3 or step 4 with a very small rally with a partner in a small, like 1 or 2 meter court. Maybe you start on step 3 or step 4. Do you have to go through 10 systematic steps? No, perhaps you start with the self-rally, step 1, step 2, and then you progress quite quickly onto step 5, step 6, step 9, step 10. So you can use them in whichever way you want. The other thing which I should point out is that although the 10-step rally is built around cooperative exercises, it can also be useful to make some competitive exercises from the 10-step rally. So you could have the self-rally as a cooperative exercise where I'm trying to just keep the ball going in the square for myself. And then you could make it competitive where each player in the group has their own square, their own racket and their own ball. And the competition is about who can make the most shots into their square in a row, or who can keep going the longest. Okay, so there are lots of different ways in which you can make some competition from the 10-step rally too. So the simple answer is that there are 10 steps, but the more advanced or detailed answer is that actually you can be creative, you can modify the steps, and of course you can make them creative in whichever way you want. You can make them cooperative, you can make them competitive. The last question I have is, do we use these steps with all ages? Well, it's a little bit like my previous answer. I prefer that we don't talk so much about the ages of the players in this respect, but we talk about the standard. And as I already said, beginners come in all ages. They can be 5, they can be 55. So the age is less relevant, really. It's more about the ability of the player and the needs of the player. And if they are complete beginners and they didn't play tennis before, or you want them to rediscover tennis after a long absence, then maybe it's a good way to start with the 10-step rally progressions to build the sensation of the rally and to build confidence. So I don't believe that it is the age that's significant. It's a set of progressions which you can use with players at red or at orange or at green even, okay, if they are slightly older beginners. Using a modified court and a slower ball, you can use them with any age. So I hope that these questions and these answers and the short introduction to the 10-step rally have been useful to you. Of course, if you have questions, please ask, and we will do our best to answer as many questions as possible. But I suggest the most important thing is that you try the 10 steps with your beginner players and tell us how it went. Tell us what worked and what didn't work. Tell us how the players reacted. Tell us how you found it. Did you find it easy? Did you find it useful? Did you find that you used the 10 steps or you only used a few other steps and you could see the players improving quite quickly? So I wish you good luck with the 10-step rally and ciao for now.
Abbiamo capito quindi che palleggiare è possibile farlo sin dalla prima lezione, sia che siate dei giocatori adulti oppure bambini, anche se siete dei principianti e non avete mai preso in mano una racchetta e magari non siete abituati a fare sport, quindi si è un po' scordinati. La cosa importante è utilizzare le progressioni giuste, gli attrezzi e gli spazi adeguati. Si può iniziare con quello che viene chiamato self rally, ossia con questo esercizio qui, oppure se già lo sappiamo fare, passiamo ad uno step successivo, magari già interagendo con il nostro partner. L'obiettivo quindi è quello di capire che il tennis è uno sport dove si lancia la palla ad un compagno e dove dobbiamo soprattutto riceverla e quindi iniziare a spostarci e via dicendo. Con le progressioni giuste e magari affiancati da un maestro, vedrete che imparerete da subito a giocare, a palleggiare e quindi a divertirvi. Se poi siete degli insegnanti di tennis e avete piacere di scoprire un po' di più i vari contributi realizzati da Mark Tennant e da Inspire to Coach, allora qui sotto nella descrizione del video vi metto il link per iscrivervi al canale, dove ci sono tantissime risorse veramente utili per migliorare il proprio modo di giocare, ma soprattutto anche il modo in cui insegniamo in campo agli altri. Se poi questo video vi è piaciuto, vi invito a mettere un like e ad iscrivervi al nostro canale YouTube. Qui in basso a destra c'è il pulsante. E ricordo di attivare la campanella delle notifiche per rimanere aggiornati ogni volta che pubblichiamo un video. Se poi volete rimanere aggiornati sui contributi che pubblichiamo nel nostro sito giocareatennis.it e che riserviamo ai nostri iscritti, come la rubrica Top 5 Video, dove selezioniamo i 5 migliori video della settimana pubblicati da altri insegnanti di tennis, allora qui in alto a destra c'è il pulsante per iscriversi alla nostra newsletter, se ci state guardando nel nostro canale YouTube, oppure cliccate nel link presente nella biografia, nel profilo Instagram oppure pagina Facebook.